So am I recording, Nisha? Does it show I'm recording? I'm checking to see if I'm recording. No. All right.
You're recording, Carol.
I'm recording. Okay. Okay, the bidding is over. Contract is set. Opening lead has been made. Dummy comes down. At this point, defenders are busily trying to figure out how they're going to set the hand. Declarer is busily figuring out how she's going to make the contract. The declarer has an advantage. She can see her hand and she can see the dummy's hand. Defenders do not have that luxury. You can't see each other's hand. You certainly cannot be on the phone telling each other what you have. If you're in the actual room playing, you can't have little signals that you have that only your partner would understand. You can't talk verbally to each other, but you do have a way to communicate, to tell, to talk to your partner. And it's through the use of 3 defensive signals. These are the signals: the attitude signal, the count signal, and the suit preference signal. And I thought that I'm going to be doing a little bit on each one of these. And today, these are the 3. You can talk to each other using these signals. Legally, let's put it that way. You can talk legally to each other. Okay, I'm going to focus on the attitude signal today. Basically, the attitude signal is just like what the word attitude means. I like, I don't like. So when your partner leads a suit, leads a card, and you like what she led, you have something in that suit, you wish her to continue, you play the highest card you can afford to play. If you don't have anything in the suit, you don't want her to continue with the suit, you play the lowest card that you have. So let's look at just a few. Let's say that the contract is one of 3 no trump and your partner has led the Queen of Hearts. She's led the Queen of Hearts and you have the King, 8, and 2. You like what she led. She's probably led from the Queen, Jack, 10, 8, or 9. She may not have a complete sequence, but I would suspect she's got either the Ace, Queen, Jack, or she's got the Queen, Jack, 10, 9, or something like that. You certainly like what she led. You have a big card. At this point, you don't need to worry with unblocking, but you do want to signal to her that you like what she led. So you would play the 8, which is the highest card you can afford to play. And she will come on. I think she would come on even if you played the 2 because she's got a perfect sequence. But now in this next example, you have 3 little ones. She's led the Queen of Hearts. You have 3 little ones. You have nothing in the suit. You're not interested really in her continuing with it. And you want to tell her, I don't have anything in this suit. So you do so by playing the 3, which is sort of a pouring water on her lead. Of course, I think she's going to continue. She's got a perfect sequence there. She's going to continue. All right, now sometimes you have to just do the best you can. I want to look at hands 3 and 4. Hand 3, you do want her to continue. You have that big king sitting there. But the problem is your little old 4, or if you had the 3 and the 2, it's really difficult to try to encourage your partner, that you want her to continue with the lead. The best you can do is to play the 4 and hope that she doesn't see the 2. Maybe the 2's, maybe the 3's in the dummy or the card's in the dummy. She won't, maybe she'll figure out that you have the 2 and we'll continue on. Again, I think leading the Queen, Jack, 10, she's going to continue. But you see, sometimes you're not always dealt 8s or 7s that you can signal with. Sometimes it's just little cards and you just have to do the best you can. Hand 4, you have 3, but they all look kind of big, don't they? Best you can do is put your 6 on, hoping she can figure it out that you don't have anything in the suit. A lot of times, most of the time, you can't figure it out when you have a combination like that. So you have to play what you got. You try to give the best signal that you can. Sometimes you find, like in hands 3 and 4, you just have to do the best you can. Okay, I want to come down and look at a hand. Look at South's hand. South has 17 points, balanced hand, 15 to 17, 1 no trump. Certainly, West, you have no business bidding. North has 10 points. Even if her partner just has 15, she wants to be in 3-no trump. And she has that wonderful 5-card, well, it's not really all that wonderful, but she does have a 5-card suit. So there's no need to do anything but just go straight to 3-no trump. So I would think the bidding on this hand would be 1-no trump, pass, 3-no trump, and that's where it's going to play. Now, you've got to remember on some of these hands that I have to illustrate, it's just for illustration. I don't know whether you'd ever have one like this come up or not, but it's for illustration purposes. Let's say that West decides to lead the ace of hearts. Now, I've told you leading away from a jack may not be good, might give away a trick. The 10 of spades might not be a bad lead, but let's just say for purposes of illustration, she led the ace of hearts. And wow, you're about to come out of your seat over there. You have the queen, 5th of hearts. And you really do want her to continue with the heart, don't you? How do you tell her? You play the highest one you have that you can afford to play, and that would be the 8, not the 6, the 8. You really want to shout. Okay, so now that your partner West looks at that 8, she says, well, I don't know if that's a doubleton, a singleton, or what that is, but I'm going to continue. She has to be very careful to lead her other big one, because you see, if she underleads, let's say she's played the ace, she sees your 8. If she underleads with the little one, with X, then certainly you're going to get your queen, but you don't have any other entries. You might actually have an entry, but you don't know you do. So it's very important for West to unblock. She has to unblock by playing her other big heart. So she should play the ace and then the king of hearts. Once she sees your signal, you're going to play your 2. Then she's going to play her small one. You play your queen and pour the claret down before she even gets out from under. Okay, so basically what this is saying, you want to shout, you want to play your 8. The 6 is good, but the 8 is even better. You really want to shout, come on with the suit. And when she comes on with the suit, she needs to unblock by playing, West needs to unblock by playing her other big card and then come to you with the queen. All right, let's look at what is called the equal honor signal. The equal honor signal comes up when your partner's bid a suit and you have supported it. So maybe she opened a heart, maybe you bid 2 hearts or whatever you bid, but some way or other you've supported the heart suit. You've supported whatever it was she bid. So she knows you have some cards in her suit. The equal honor signal comes into play when your partner leads a big one. Your equal honor is the queen. You see the ace, the king, and the queen are all equal. Any one of those 3 cards will take the first trick. You tell your partner that you have the queen, in this particular instance, by playing the 8. The 8 promises that you have the queen. It says, I have equal honor. So when she plays the ace, she plays the 8. She knows that you have equal honor and she can continue with the suit. All right, a blatant honor signal, equal honor signal is when you hold specifically the queen, jack, and some little ones, 1 or more little ones. When your partner plays the ace and you've supported her, now remember, you've supported her in the suit, whatever the suit is, let's say it's hearts. You can tell your partner that it is safe for her to underlead her second big card if you play the queen. And this comes in quite useful. You've maybe seen it before. You've seen other people do it. If you have the queen, jack, X or whatever, play the queen. This gives your partner the idea that if she wishes to underlead her other big card, her other, either the king or the ace, whichever one she's got still left, she can do so safely. She knows that you can take the trick with the jack. All right, let's look at it. She leads the ace, you should play the queen. That gives her the opportunity to underlead her king of hearts to get to you with the jack. Now, I don't want to go into suit preference today, but the size of the card that West would lead to East jack to get to her jack is a suit preference signal. And I'm going to just say what suit preference is, but I'm going to cover it in detail in another lesson next week. When you're talking about suit preference, you discount the trump suit, you discount the suit that is being led. There are two suits left. One ranks higher than the other. And you know about the ranking. Spades outranks hearts, diamonds, and clubs. Hearts outrank diamonds and clubs, and diamonds outrank clubs. So let's say that West led the 4 of hearts to get to your jack, and that spades are trump. The other 2 suits that are remaining would be clubs and diamonds. She's led a small one to your jack. She's asking you to return a club. If she had led the 10 to get to your jack, or maybe that's not a good example, if she led a higher one, she would be saying, I have something in diamonds, so shift to the diamond. Now, don't get hung up on that today. I just wanted to introduce it to you. The whole thing I'm trying to present today is if you have the queen jack of your partner's suit, you tell your partner so by playing the queen. You tell her it's safe to underlead her other big one to get to you. By the size of the card that you lead, will tell her what she needs to return. So when you're talking about suit preference, you don't count the trump suit. You don't count the suit that you're leading. There are 2 remaining suits. One of them, if the 2 remaining suits are diamond and clubs, diamonds ranks higher, clubs ranks lower. So let me quit there, and I'll be doing a lot more on suit preference at the appropriate time. Okay, I want to look at this next hand. First of all, let's look at the bidding. You are South and you're bidding this hand. You have 20 points. You have an absolutely huge hand. I don't know, some people might open 2 clubs with this, but let's say for illustrative purposes that you opened a diamond. You have 5 diamonds and you have 5 clubs. You open the higher first. So you would open 1 diamond. I don't think West would put in a bid, but what I've been seeing lately, West might put in a bid. But let's say that West doesn't put in a bid. Might be 2 diamonds showing both majors, but let's hope she doesn't. Let's say in this illustration she didn't. And then we come to the North hand. North has 9 points and she has 4 hearts. Partner's opened a diamond. She should bid a heart. And then her partner comes back and bids 3 clubs. What that is saying is she has a very, very powerful hand. She's a powerful 2-suited hand. And you see that she does. It's very powerful. She's got game almost in it. Well, she does have game, which maybe not in the minor suit, but she's got a game going hand. She tells her partner this. Her partner bids 4 clubs, and they finally settle in a contract of 5 clubs. Your partner leads the ace of spades. You have the queen jack. Play the queen. That tells your partner that she can safely underlead her king to get to your jack. Now, if you have the queen doubleton, don't dare play the queen. Play your small one, because if you play the queen, according to this rule, she's going to underlead her big one, and how embarrassing that would be. You're going to lose a trick. But if you've got the queen jack and a small one, or just the queen jack doubleton, play the queen. She can underlead then her other big one. She wants you to return a diamond. She's void in diamonds. You see that. West is void in diamonds. So she would return the 4. She would lead the 4 to get to your jack. I mean, yes, the 4, because the trump suit is clubs and you're leading spades. So the other 2 suits that are left would be hearts and diamonds. Hearts outrank diamonds. So if she had wanted a heart back, she would have led an 8 to get to your jack. But certainly she wants the diamond because she has none and can get a rough. So she should lead the 4 to get to your jack. But what do you already know from the bidding? You already know your partner's void, don't you? Because South opened a diamond, then she rebid 3 clubs. So she's got at least 5 diamonds. You're looking at 3 diamonds in the dummy and you've got 5 in your hand. So even if your partner was remiss and didn't tell you what to lead back, you already know. You know she's void. So you're going to lead a diamond for her to rough, and you're going to set the hand. And again, the declarer we're not fair to the declarer. One of these days I am going to give the declarers something to get back at these awful, terrible defenders. All right, but what I was just mentioning a while ago, if you have the queen X, you do not want to play the queen when your partner plays the ace. If you do so, then it would be terribly unfortunate if she underled her other big one to get to you, and then Declare gets the jack. He gets a trick he should not have gotten. So you want to play your little one. Then if she comes on with the king, when your queen drops, then it's obvious to her that you had a doubleton. But you must not play it unless you have the queen jack doubleton, queen jack specifically. You don't want to be playing your queen. Okay, going to discards. This is when the declarer is leading a suit to which you cannot follow. You're void, or you don't have any more. You have to make discards. And so you can tell your partner a whole lot about your hand by the cards that you discard. I play, if you discard a high card in a suit, that you're telling your partner that you want it led. If you discard a low one, you're telling your partner that not to lead that suit, that you don't have anything in it. You don't need to answer it, just phone call. I should put that, I apologize for that call. Other people play it the other way around. If you play a low one, you like it, you like the suit. If you discard a low card, you like that suit. Or if you play a high one, you don't like that suit. That's called, I guess, the upside down discards or whatever, odd even or whatever, upside down, I guess. But I play the high low. If I play a high card, if I discard a high card, I like that suit. I want you, if you get in, you're my partner, I want you to lead it. I have something in that suit. If I play a low card, discard a low card, I'm saying I don't have anything in this suit. If you play it the opposite way, just kind of reverse everything I'm saying. So playing of a low card implies weakness in the suit. Playing of a high card implies that you have something in the suit. So if I play the 6 and then the 4, I'm saying I've got something in that suit. If I play the 4 and then the 6, I'm saying I don't have something in that suit. But what you've got to remember is when you discard in a suit, you are shortening your suit. So if it is a no trump contract, and Declare is leading spades and you don't have any, sometimes you can signal by inference. You really are crying, desperate for a heart lead. But if you play the 10 of hearts to tell your partner that you want a heart lead, if she should get in, then it shortens your heart suit. And at no trump, it's so important to have as many cards as you can have in the suit. So you tell your partner indirectly by inference. You discard the 2 of clubs. When the next spade is, you discard the 3 of diamonds. You just keep discarding those. And hopefully if your partner gets in, she will have noticed that you played a low club, you played a low diamond. Not very encouraging. And maybe come with the heart. Of course, if you're desperate to get the heart shift, then you should go ahead and signal with the 10 of hearts. But you'd like to just do it by inference if you can. And I don't know if you've seen people do it by inference. Have you tried doing it by inference? Playing a low card tells you, don't lead this suit. Don't lead this suit. And then maybe by process of elimination, your partner will figure out that you wanted the other suit. Okay, signaling with honor cards. Here's the rule. You don't want to ever signal with a card, an honor card that might later. If the honor that you have could possibly take a trick, you don't want to ever signal with it. But if it can't possibly take a trick, then there is no problem with doing so. This is different from the equal honor that we talked about here on page 2, I believe, just a couple pages back. All right, let's look at this. Hearts of trumps. Hearts of trumps, and your partner has led the ace. You don't really know how many he's got, but most of the time you don't lead an unsupported ace. I would think you would have the ace king. And here you have the jack X. Your partner leads the ace, you need to think. You see, both of you are seeing the queen and the dummy. And so what you really need to do here is to go ahead and play the jack. I don't think your partner is going to think that's a singleton. I can't speak today. Signal and singleton are getting me in a problem here. when she leads the ace, play the jack. If you don't, she's going to see that queen sitting in the dummy and fear that she's going to be setting it up for a discard for the declarer. So she may switch. The jack is never going to win a trick. You see that? The jack cannot possibly win a trick. So play your jack. Partner comes on with the king and you play your 2. She now knows she had a doubleton and she will come on and you'll get the ruff. If you play the 2, she may not come on with it. She probably won't because she does not want to set the queen up. So if you have an honor that's never going to catch a trick and you have the doubleton, it's fine to play it. But let's look at the next example. Here your partner has led the king and you see the 10 third. You think your partner is probably led from the king queen. You see what happens if you play your jack, declarer gets the ace, and now she gets a trick with a 10, an undeserved trick. So you see the jack in this particular example does have the possibility of winning a trick. So you would not ever want to put the jack. You see the difference between that one and the one above. The one above, the jack is never going to win a trick. And plus you can see the queen in the dummy. So your partner should come on with it and give you the ruff. Here, you do not want to play the jack, even though you have a doubleton. And you see why, because the jack could possibly win over the 10. If you play the jack, Clara takes the ace, she knocks out your other big spade, and now her 10 sets up for a discard for the declarer. Okay, asking for a shift. When your partner leads an honor card and you have an equal honor, but you don't want her to continue the suit, play the lowest card you have. You want him to switch. And let's look at this example. This is something that I have learned recently, and I'm sorry you can't see all the bidding and stuff because I think it's crossing over on the screen, but it'll certainly show up on the PDF file I'll be sending you later this afternoon. Okay, let's look at this. You are east, and you would certainly open a heart with this hand. South overcalls a spade. I would overcall a spade with South's hand. West, certainly constructed bid, has 3 hearts, would bid 2 hearts. North bids 2 spades, and it passes out. So the contract is 2 spades. Your partner's opened a heart. You have supported. West is on lead, comes off leading the king of hearts. You have the ace jack of hearts, and it would be tempting to signal to her, of course she already knows you've got something big in the heart suit, to play the 8. But what you really want her to do is to shift to another suit. And of course, looking, you can see the hand. Obviously, the shift that she wants is through the diamond. She's got the ace, queen, 10 over the king, jack, 9 sitting up there in the dummy. So the way she tells you to shift when you lead the king of hearts is to play the 2. Because she's opened hearts. Obviously, she has big hearts. But she's telling you not to come on with the heart. Why is she telling you that? She wants a shift. Now, this illustration is kind of obvious because you're sitting there with the king. She certainly could not want a club shift. What could she possibly want? It has to be in the diamonds. And so you shift and lead either the middle diamond or the high one or whatever. And you see what happens then. Whichever one played from the dummy, your partner covers it. And the beautiful thing is she knows she can come back to you. You have the other big heart. She can come back to you with a heart. You can lead another diamond through. You take the queen and now you cash the ace and you set the hand. So whenever you've supported your partner in a suit and she leads a big one and you don't want her to continue, you play the lowest card you have in the suit saying, I want a shift. Partner, see if you can find what to shift for. And I think this example is very easy because you certainly couldn't want a club. It has to be the diamonds. And after all, she has opened the hand. So you get the idea that she wants the diamond shift. And of course, that's beautiful because then you can get back to her with her other big heart for her to come through the king jack again. And you get 3 diamond tricks plus your 2 spades, plus your 2 hearts. And I don't know if you can get anything else or not, but anyway, that's how you ask for a switch. All right, this one other one, you may have seen other people do this and not known why they did it. Contract is 4 spades, and your partner opens the king of clubs, which the declarer roughs. He's voiding clubs. And he starts to pull spades. Well, you have no spades. You see, you're avoiding spades. What do you discard? The card you discard is the king of hearts. What that tells your partner is that you have the cards sequence below that. This is the highest of the sequence that you have, but it denies that you have the ace of hearts. Now, I know you've seen people play a big card like that and say, well, wonder why in the world they stuck out there the king of diamonds, or they stuck out there the ace of something, or whatever. What they are telling their partner is that they have a sequence, they have the cards below that sequence, but they do not have the one above it. So if you play the king of hearts, you're telling your partner, I have the queen jack, but I do not have the ace. That's a sort of a signal that maybe you're not familiar with, and it could be valuable to you. I don't know. Okay, 2 very good resources to look at is Cantor's books on modern defense and advanced bridge defense. I highly recommend both of these. These are the ones that John Markey recommended to me. He says they are the Bible of defense, and they are wonderful books. And I would recommend that you invest in getting you a copy of both of these and read them through. I've read mine through at least 2 times, and starting on the 3rd time. Some of the examples I have used come out of this book, these 2 books. They are the very best on defense, and I highly recommend that you look at them. I can recommend others, but these, if you're wanting to just have the very best, I think these are the very best. Okay, I have 3 hands for us to look at in the card combinations. You're missing the queen. How are you going to maximize? How are you going to play these to maximize the number of tricks? In the first hand 1, you have 7 cards in the suit. You are missing 6 cards. You are missing the queen, the 10, the 9, the 8, the 7, and the 6. How do you maximize the number of tricks you can get? Well, of course, it's obvious. You play the king, and then you finesse the jack. Hopefully, that way you'll get 3 tricks. That's the most you can ever get, is 3 tricks in the suit, because there are too many other big ones out. So you're hoping that the queen is over on your left. But now let's look at the second one. Here you have 8 cards to the ace, king, jack, 10 in the dummy. How do you play this? You're missing the queen, I believe the 9, 8, 7, 6 here. If the queen is over on your right, you can't pick it up unless it falls doubleton. If you can't afford to let them in, your only play then would be to play the ace, king. If you're no trump, let's say, you can't afford to let them in, the only play you got is to play the ace, king and hope the queen falls doubleton. But if it's just a regular suit contract, I don't think you want to just play for the drop. What I would do, the best way to play this is first play small one to the ace or the king, get back to your hand some way in another suit, and then finesse the jack the second time around. You're hoping for queen 3rd on your left. But again, if you're in a no trump contract and you cannot afford to let them in, because once they get in, they're going to cash a whole bunch of a suit that they've gotten set up, then the safety play is to play the ace, king, hoping that the queen is doubleton. And sometimes, a lot of times, about 33% of the time, it will fall doubleton. Now, on hand 3, you were hoping to make as many tricks as possible. And most people, you would finesse, and it doesn't do any good to play a big one first and then finesse. I think you start right away finessing. But let's say that you are in a no trump contract and you have no outside entries. outside of this suit, whatever it is. Let's say it's clubs. You have 5 to the ace, king, jack, 10 on the board. You have no outside entries on the board. What you want to do is a safety, what's called a safety play. This will be on down the road sometime in the summer. We'll do something on safety plays. You first finesse the jack. You hope the suit is going to break then. Once you get back and that the ace king will pull the queen, and then that you'll get at least 4 tricks out of this. But if you finesse, if you don't finesse and you play the ace king and the queen doesn't drop, then you're not going to ever get over there to get the jack. So if you can afford, and let me say this, if you can afford to give them 1 trick, here is an example of a safety play. You have no other outside entries, so you finesse the jack the first time and hope it brings out the queen. If it doesn't, that's fine. You get back to your hand and then you come through and you'll know where the queen is. Play the ace king and you'll pick up the entire suit. So you only do the safety play if you can afford to do it and you have no other outside entries. So you might want to just read through what I've said there. I'll be covering safety plays sometime this summer on down the road. Okay, now I had to make this a little bit small because I hope you can see it. I want you to see if you can spot the card that you need to play. Contract is 4 hearts. East, you have queen, jack, 10, so you have a natural trump trick, don't you? Your partner has led the ace of spades or the king of spades. She's led the king of spades, doesn't matter. She's led one of the big ones. The natural inclination here is to play the 8 to show that you have a doubleton. But stop. Remember what I said about trumping with a natural trump trick. You're going to get your queen of hearts sometime. You just don't want to get it trumping the 3rd spade. So instead of signaling that you have a doubleton by playing the 8, play the 3. Asking her for a shift. You hope she can figure out from looking at the dummy that perhaps you want a shift in the diamond suit. If she finds the shift, then you are going to get a diamond trick. You lead back to her other big heart or spade there, and you'll eventually get either the queen or the jack or the 10 of hearts, and you set the contract. Contract's 4 spades, 4 hearts. You're getting a heart trick. You're probably getting 2 spade tricks, but you got to get 1 more trick. Don't signal that you have a doubleton by playing the 8. Play the small one, hoping she will shift. You're telling her that you don't like her suit, what she led. Hopefully she will find the diamond switch. It looks to be the switch that needs to be made because the clubs look pretty daunting there. If she doesn't make the switch at this point, the declarer may be able to get the clubs set up to ditch maybe a losing diamond out of her hand. She has no lose. Maybe she's got a doubleton diamond. She can get rid of a diamond on long clubs. So sometimes you don't, just because you have a doubleton, you don't want to play it. You want to ask for the shift. You want to discourage your partner. 2 reasons why you want to discourage. You don't want to use your natural trump trick. You're getting either queen, jack, or 10 of hearts. Plus, you want her to switch to come through that ace, queen of diamonds that's sitting on the board. Okay, next week, I'm going to talk about the count signal and maybe get started on the suit preference signal. So I'm going to go ahead and stop record.